It is a beautiful good evening. A warm welcome to Bmtv main news at 6. My name is Suntwa. Let's take a look at the stories that are making headlines tonight. HH launches 50 megawatt photovoltaic power plant. Zambia and GGI sign host a country agreement. Immigration secures multiple convictions in illegal country entry crackdown. In international news, the Trump administration may expand refugee program for white South Africans. And in sports news, NOCZ conducts safe sport session for handball players. Well, to present the news in detail now, President Hakainde Hichilema has commissioned the Mabumba 50 megawatt photovoltaic solar project in Mansa, a key step towards strengthening Zambia's energy security. The project, being implemented by ZESCO, is aimed at reducing the country's reliance on hydropower and cushioning the nation against climate-induced power shortages.
That we've been saying about this province: endowments, water, soils, grass, those things that lie under the ground, minerals, several of them, manganese, gold, sojilite, semi-precious stones. I'm talking about those endowments that God was gracious enough to give us, Abena Zambia, as a country, but through Rapula, the specifics that we all know. Rapula is hosting a lot of the water this country has.
Was to launch the 50 megawatt Mabumba power project. Now, Mr. President, for the last 4.5 years, you have inundated us with targets. Not that we're complaining, Mr. President, no. You've inundated us with targets, which speaks to 10,000 megawatts of power, 10 million metric tons of maize, 5 million tourists, 3 million metric tons of copper, 1 million metric tons of soya, and 1 million metric tons of wheat.
The government of the Republic of Zambia, represented by His Excellency Andrew Banda, Ambassador of Republic of Zambia to the Republic of Korea, and accompanied by First Secretary Ms. Anastasia Muka, today signed a host country agreement with the Global Green Growth Institution. Represented by its Executive Director, Mr. Sangyup Kim, the agreement reaffirms the parties' shared commitment to advancing climate action and inclusive green growth in Zambia. HCA was signed during the GGI Spring annual meeting, and it formalizes GGI's legal status in Zambia and strengthens the institutional framework for collaboration, supporting the government of Zambia to deliver its climate and green growth priorities, including implementation of its national determined collaboration and contribution. His Excellency Banda, Ambassador of the Republic of Zambia to Republic of Korea, said that the agreement is not only a commitment but a call to action. He said that its success would depend on effective implementation and a strong collaboration among all stakeholders. He noted that Zambia stands ready to work closely with GGI to ensure tangible results that improves the lives of our people. Meanwhile, Mr. Sangyup Kim, Executive Director, Global Green Growth Institution, said that the GGI recognizes the advancing Zambia's climate priorities is essential to building an inclusive, sustainable economy. He said that the partnership is an opportunity to accelerate green growth, deliver country-led solutions, and support Zambia's transition to a low-carbon economy. Well, we move to another story. The Department of Immigration has secured several convictions against foreign nationals for immigration-related offences under the Immigration and Deportation Act, Chapter 123 of the laws of Zambia. In Kabwe, 29 Ethiopian nationals have been convicted for failing to report to an immigration officer upon entry and for unlawful stay in the country. The group was apprehended by Zambia police in separate incidences in Chisamba district between March 27 and 28, 2026 before being handed over to immigration authorities on 30th March. The Kabwe Magistrate Court fined each offender 10,000 kwacha or in default sentenced them to 12 months simple imprisonment. The individuals are currently detained at Kabwe Correctional Facility awaiting payment of fines and subsequent deportation. Meanwhile, in Luansha, a 28-year-old Tanzanian national identified as Dimasi Ibasa has been convicted for unlawful entry and stay, as well as being in possession of a forged immigration stamp. He has, however, been apprehended during route operations within the town, and the court sentenced him to 12 months imprisonment with hard labor without the option of fine.
Of Immigration has secured multiple convictions for immigration-related offences involving foreign nationals found to be in contravention of the Immigration and Deportation Act, Chapter 123 of the laws of Zambia. In Kabwe, the Regional Immigration Office secured the conviction of 29 Ethiopian nationals for failure to appear before the nearest immigration officer upon entry into Zambia and unlawful presence in the country. The individuals were apprehended by the Zambia police in separate incidents in Chisamba district on 27th and 28th March 2026 before being handed over to immigration on 30th March 2026 for further processing. The Kabwe Magistrate Court fined each individual 10,000 kwacha or in default sentenced them to 12 months simple imprisonment. The 29 individuals remain detained at Kabwe Correctional Facility pending payment of fines and subsequent removal from the country. Meanwhile, the Luansha Immigration Office secured the conviction of a 28-year-old Tanzanian national, Dimasi Ibaso Manyela, who was apprehended during routine immigration operations within Luansha town. Investigations established that he had entered Zambia unlawfully and was unlawfully staying in the country. A forged immigration stamp was also found in his possession. He was subsequently charged with unlawful entry, unlawful stay, and being found in possession of a forged immigration stamp. Following court proceedings, he was convicted and sentenced to 12 months imprisonment with hard labor without the option of a fine. In Ndola, the Regional Immigration Office secured the conviction of a 33-year-old Congolese national, Shibanka Tom, for unlawful return to Zambia, contrary to Section 36(5) of the Immigration and Deportation Act, Chapter 123 of the laws of Zambia.
Well, Chief Wunda Wunda of the Soli people of Lufunsa district has been elected chairperson of the House of Chiefs for 2026. Following the official opening of the 9th session of the 6th House of Chiefs at the Mulungushi International Conference Center in Lusaka, it will be deputized by Chief Chiwika of the Lunda people of Mwenelunga district. The Chief Wunda Wunda takes over from Chief Chungo of Monze district in Southern Province, whose one-year tenure ended on April 20th, 2026. In his farewell remarks, Chief Chungo expressed gratitude to members of the House for their support during the tenure and congratulated his successor, expressing confidence in his leadership. In his acceptance speech, Chief Wunda Wunda pledged to promote unity and harmony within the House, emphasizing its role in fostering peace and national cohesion.
I also would like to thank our supporting staff, the clerk, and all the members of our team for being there to give advice and take counsel in the term of my office. I also say thank you on behalf of my Vice Chairperson. We are really grateful, together with our supporting staff, the Chief Whip. It has been a wonderful time to work with all of them. I also say thank you to the Standing Committee for all the support that they have rendered to me during my tenure as chairperson of this House. I would like to wish the incoming team, chairperson and the vice, all the best as they continue where we have left.
The Tonse Alliance Council of Leaders, together with several opposition political leaders, have raised concerns over handling of the remains of former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. In a joint statement, the leader alleged that a postmortem was conducted on the late former head of state without the knowledge or consent of the family or legal representatives. The alliance says the development is both disturbing and unacceptable, calling for transparency and respect for the right of the deceased and his family.
Realize such an important matter by allowing very junior cadres to address our concerns. It is an insult to the collective intelligence of the Zambian people and a disrespect to the legacy of our former president. Ladies and gentlemen, the people of Zambia deserve answers from those in authority, not proxies or spin doctors. We therefore demand that both the government of Zambia and South Africa should to clearly explain the following. Number one, who authorized this act? 2, under what law was it done? 3, why was the family excluded? 4, what exactly was done to the body of our former president? To the international human rights institutions, regional bodies and global partners who have long regarded Zambia as a peaceful and stable democracy, we urge you to take note of this disturbing development. Members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, this situation, if left unaddressed, risks undermining Zambia's long-standing reputation as a peaceful nation and may threaten public trust in state institutions. The world must not remain silent when fundamental principles of human dignity, the rule of law, and respect for the dead are in question. As Tonse Alliance, under the opposition in general, we will not accept vague statements.
Unacceptable.
This nation...
Well, we go for our first break. We'll be back with international and sports news. Stay tuned. we thank you so much for staying with us. Now we take you straight into international news. Trump administration may expand refugee program for white South Africans, that says the U.S. president. And he has repeatedly made false claims of a genocide being carried out against minority white Afrikaners.
US President Donald Trump's administration is reportedly considering more than doubling the annual limit for refugee admissions so it can admit more white South Africans. Under the proposal, the current ceiling of 7,500 refugees for the 2026 fiscal year could be increased by as much as 10,000 places. Trump has repeatedly claimed that members of the Afrikaner minority group are being persecuted and having their land taken from them because of their race. The South African government and numerous Afrikaner and other groups and organizations in the country have refuted his allegations. Afrikaners make up about 60% of the country's white minority, which itself accounts for only 7% of the population. The US admitted about 4,500 South Africans as refugees through the first 6 months of the fiscal year. An internal US government email seen by Reuters news agency shows that at least 4 of them have already returned home. Trump has portrayed the country as dangerous and oppressive for whites, yet thousands of white South Africans abroad have returned to the country in recent years.
Well, still with international news, the Philippines' former president, Rodrigo Duterte, will face a trial at the International Criminal Court in The Hague. The judges on Thursday confirmed charges of crime against humanity against Duterte for dozens of alleged extrajudicial killings.
The Philippines' former president, Rodrigo Duterte, will face trial at the International Criminal Court in The Hague. Judges on Thursday confirmed charges of crimes against humanity against Duterte for allegedly killing dozens of people during his so-called war on drugs.
Today, the judges of Pretrial Chamber 1 of the International Criminal Court unanimously confirmed all the charges against Rodrigo Roa Duterte and committed him to trial before a trial chamber. Pretrial Chamber 1 concluded that there are substantial grounds to believe that Mr. Duterte is responsible for the crimes against humanity of murder and attempted murder. These crimes were allegedly committed as part of a widespread and systematic attack against the civilian population on the territory of the Republic of the Philippines between the 1st of November 2011 and the 16th of March 2019 in the context of the war on drugs campaign.
It's unlikely that 81-year-old Duterte will actually appear in the dock in The Hague. His lawyers say he's too mentally frail to follow proceedings.
Well, we go for our second break. We'll be back with sports news.
I happened to write Shansha for Daliso, the one who actually sang the chorus. That was my voice. Shansha limbikira paka veufu na uvipeze. Shansha limba pitiliza paka ufike. Chosamanta chifu kwa ndiye umafuna weo deile. I went to see Jerry Fingers. He said, "Big man, I have no money to give you today." Then the good part is these guys, they believed in me. And he told me, "Come in the morning before I get busy." Then I sang for him. I do me, where are you? Come on, I be loving you. And you're like, okay, let's start. You know how Jerry Fingers does this?
Jerry Fingers!
Yeah, makes the basics first. For everything that I've ever lost, I feel like had I been informed enough about what the real world looks like, I was not gonna, throw away.
Well, thank you so much for staying with us. Now we drive you straight into the world of sports. The National Olympic Committee of Zambia, NOCZ, Self Sport Officer Prudence Nswana conducted a safe sport awareness session for Zambia's main handball players currently in camp, preparing for the 2026 Men's Zone 6 IHF Trophy, scheduled to take place from the 28th April to the 3rd of May 2026. During the session, Swana emphasized the importance of safe sport in creating a secure and supportive environment for athletes. She highlighted key principles that athletes and officials must follow, including respect, discipline, appropriate conduct, and the need to report any abuse, harassment, or misconduct in sports. Swana encouraged the players to uphold integrity both on and off the court, stressing that athletes' welfare remains a priority as they prepare for the game to represent the country at the regional level. The Men's Zone 6 IHF Trophy is a major regional tournament that will bring together top young handball talent from across Southern Africa, with teams competing in under-17 and under-20 men's categories. Participating countries includes Lesotho, Eswatini, South Africa, Mozambique, Malawi, Zimbabwe, Namibia, and the host nation, Zambia. Well, on that note, we end our news bulletin tonight. But before we do so, a recap of the headlines that made stories tonight. HH launches 50 megawatts photovoltaic. Zambia and Triple GI sign host country agreement. Immigration secures multiple convictions in illegal entry crackdown. And in international news, the Trump administration may expand the refugee program for white South Africans. And in sports news, NOCZ conducts a safer sports session for handball players. Well, we do appreciate for being with us tonight. On behalf of the technical team, Mr. Douglas Banda on transmission, Mr. Jackson Tembo, and Mr. Aldrich on camera 1 and 2. Ruth Msakabantu, our reporter, Mr. Temwani Nkata, our news editor. This has been Sontwa. Keep on watching BMTV.
na Mabemba na Baku Northern kuja kwanza malaria maningi. So the reason why sickle cell iliko, it is just like the body was just trying to protect itself against what is malaria. So where there's a lot of malaria, that is where also makali za wambidi banewali. So ukamkwata kamkazi kako kuchipata, ukamkwatira waneka manayo kuchipata, ukamkwata kamkazi kako kuchibemba, uniko kwa pimisa first wazia akali nayo ona mfanya wazipimisa kai ndiko kamene depends kama ningi. But right now it is now because of intermarriage. Yes, a lot of intermarriage. Now we cannot tell, but right now the part that has got a lot of part sickle cell in Zambia is the northern part, eastern, northwestern, because of that belt. So yes, so that is, so people, as we are getting married, our goal is that we should be able to know our sickle cell status. That's the message that I want us to know. That's why I have a t-shirt. Know your sickle cell what? Status. Just maningi.